Good morning. Today we're going to talk about the oldest gun in my collection. It's the M88 Rifle. It's also called the Commission Rifle. The reason it's called the Commission Rifle is that back around that 1888, 1889, when they started with the smokeless gunpowder, which was actually introduced in 1844 or 1845, the Germans were still using the 11 millimeter black powder rifle. The French, who were a real rival for them, decided that they were using the Lebel, which was they were using an 8 millimeter. So it was a smaller round, it was a faster round, it was more accurate, and it caused less of a mess. So the Germans decided they were going to get people together and form a commission. And this commission was going to come up with the rifle that they needed. There were certain requirements. It had to have a magazine so that they could do magazine fed. And it had to be using the black powder, using the smokeless powder, obviously, and it was a bolt action. Well, this is it right here. This is the GEWHER, Gewer. I don't speak German, but anyway, so this is the rifle right here. It looks like it has a huge barrel on it, which would be reminiscent of when they had the 11 millimeter and the big black powder guns. But this is actually a sleeve. If you look at the end, you can see that there's a 8 millimeter barrel in there. It has the buttstock. It has swivels. It has the front swivel, the back swivel. The back swivel is a detachable swivel, which was, I thought, pretty neat. It was the first gun I had been collecting that had the detachable swivel. It was a bolt action, and the bolt action actually is something that the commission modified. It says modified to me. That sounds stole from the Mausers. And part of that is, and when we do the Mausers, we'll talk about it, is that number one, the bolt release is on the side here. And instead of like some rifles, you just pull the trigger and it comes out, you have to use the bolt release here, and it holds the bolt inside. It also has the safety. Close this thing up. It also has the safety here on the back. It's the neutral, the safe, the off. It has a straight handle. It has one of these things in it. You have to have the strip in order to shoot the gun. This was something that they got. The steer Mannlicher was on the team, and this is their contribution, which is very exactly similar to their rifles, and even to the Kirkanos. Whether they're related or not, I'm not going to say because I'm not sure. But they have that same thing where dust cover, where when it's done, the clip falls out the bottom. That so. Let's see what else they got here. They get the. This is something that you see that's reminiscent of the Mauser. They have it's a bolt that they put in there to keep the stock from splitting when it's being shot. It has a ladder sight, and the ladder sight it goes out to, believe it or not, 2,050 yards, which I don't understand why it goes up, why they put that little extra on there, and that would be as if you use the V that's at the top here. It said it's got like all guns at that time, it's got the cleaning rod, and because even though it was smokeless gunpowder, it still wasn't smokeless and it still wasn't clean. Because you figure our gunpowder isn't all, it's clean, but not, it's clean comparatively to what we had. I was going to talk about smokeless gunpowder versus black powder, but I think I'm going to do a talk on that when I do some more research. and find out, because it's pretty interesting the way it was developed, and the way that it's presented in different forms. Let's see if we. The barrel is the metal sheath. When I took the gun apart the first time, I was surprised that that was true with the barrel, because I didn't know that at the time. This gun was deactivated when I got it. It was actually in somebody's trash, kind of. It was rusty. It was. I noticed that the buttstock was sticking up, and I looked and I said, "Wow!" I said to the guy, "What is that?" And of course, my wife was like, "Oh crap, here we go." And he said, "Hey, you can have it if you want it. You know, it's been hanging out between my camp and at my house, and so I said, all right." So I took it and I started cleaning it up, and I realized that a lot of the stuff is the original matching numbers and so forth for this stuff. It was made in Spandau, Germany, in 1989. I mean, sorry, 1889. Um, and it cleaned up really nice. The problem is that there's one of the problems that they had with these was the bolt head, and there's bolt heads that were on American rifles too still, and it fits down inside, but it comes out, and they get lost or people take them out, and I was going to buy a new bolt head, but the bolt heads are $200 or $300 for a bolt head for this. So I said, well, I'm not sure that's what I want to do then. And also inside the barrel is a steel rod. That's one way that they deactivated things, was they took a steel rod and they beat it down inside the barrel so it would be stuck. And I bought a new barrel thinking that I would be able to get a bolt head. So if I ever get a cheap bolt head, then I'll get the bolt head and get the barrel changed out, and then I'll have a rifle. Originally, these were chambered in the Patron, which was the M88 ammunition. The normal, what we call normal Mauser now, the bullet size on it is a 323, and that's the diameter of the bullet. These were made at the 318, which you figure, well, that wouldn't really make much of a difference, you know, but it does. It makes a big difference. So because it doesn't quite fit, the 8mm doesn't quite fit inside these guns because it makes that much of a difference. This gun, however, was, I don't know if you can see it or not, probably not. I don't know why I keep trying to show things, but there's an S stamped on the barrel. And the S stamped on the barrel means that there was a new barrel put on here that could be used for the modern day Mauser round. So like I said, it's a barrel. They reamed it out, or they did whatever they did to it so that it could use the regular 8mm, because they only kept the Patron for a short period of time, and they changed it over, I think, in 1906, I believe, and so they had all these rifles that they couldn't use because the Mauser round wouldn't fit inside it, so they changed it around. I really would love to be able to fire this gun. I mean, when you think about it, it's 140 years old almost. It would be great to shoot it. The other consideration would be, of course, that the power that's behind a 8mm now and what they had for 8mm then, it might be too powerful for the gun. Then again, if I were a person to do my own loading, then I would load it or get rounds that would load it to a lesser degree than what we have today. So, but anyway, this is the M88. It's not a Mauser. I was corrected when I first started doing what I'm doing by Mauser people that this is not a Mauser. It's a Gura rifle, and that's about it. So we're going to start into our Mausers next. I think we'll probably go to the Turkish Mauser, which is which is pretty interesting and has some history behind it also. So anyway, well, thank you for watching.